Hey everyone, Greg from Retro Gaming Goodness here, and what I've got for you today is my top 10 16-bit games. Now, these won't necessarily be the absolute best 16-bit games, these are just the ones that are my personal favorites. Each of them is on this list for a reason, and I'd be happy to share that with you, so let's get to it. Number 1 on the list, number 10 on the list, it's on the list somewhere. Starting us off in the 10 spot is Desert Strike for Sega Genesis. This is on the list because I think I played it shortly after the first Gulf War. So it was like 7, I think, when the first Gulf War broke out, and like 9 or 10 when I played this game. Still, it was like recent enough in my memory. And I remember loving the way that the missions were laid out. Like it made sense to follow them in a certain way. Like you want to rescue this informant before you blow up some Scud sites, or you needed to rescue this POW who was your co-pilot in order to have a better winch operator. Those kinds of things. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. It was a super short game. I think it was just 4 levels, but a ton of fun. So for that reason, it's here on the list. Number 9, Star Trek: The Next Generation, Echoes of Futures Past. No, there's no Echo in there. That's a different game. Futures Past. So this game, again, ton of fun to play. I grew up watching The Next Generation, and so to sort of step into their shoes was amazing. I like the fact that different characters had different abilities. Like, I think it was Geordi and Data could see things that other crew members couldn't. Worf was good for security, those kinds of things. But my favorite thing about this game was the computer behind Picard and Worf, because that's where I learned about entropy and the second law of thermodynamics. And at the time, I don't think I fully understood what was being said, but it's where those concepts were introduced at first. So, yeah, and I think, I learned about white holes there. So, awesome. Educational and entertainment. It's edutainment. Number 8 is NBA Live 95. It could be NBA Live 96 or 97. I think they're all fairly similar games. Be that as it may, this was around the time that EA was letting you play a full season with playoffs and everything. And I've always preferred Sims to arcade games. That's why you won't see NBA Jam on here, as much fun as that game is. And this is right around the time that I started moving away from being a hockey and baseball fan into being a basketball fan. And so for that reason, it really sticks out in my memory as like one of these like pivotal games in my like gaming development. So yeah. Number 7 is Sonic number 2. Now, I didn't play Sonic 3. I didn't really care for Sonic Spinball. And Sonic 1 was not the best. Like, you can tell they improved. Because in Sonic 2, you got the world's best sidekick. Now, Luigi, Cortana, Ratchet and Clank, whichever one is the sidekick there, I never played it. Same with Banjo-Kazooie. None of them would ever die for the main hero, but Tails does it all the time. He won't grab, one of those bubbles in an underwater level so that Sonic can have it. The man's a legend. And so there's that. There's the levels themselves, which are all iconic. The music, which is great. The fact that Sonic is one of the best franchises. Just excuse games like 5 to 13 or whatever it is. Fantastic game. And probably should place it higher on this list, but I didn't. Number 6 is Super Metroid. So for me, this game really influenced what I ended up looking for in games really up until today. It's the reason why I like a game like Hollow Knight. So it really rewards exploration and the progression where you unlock abilities that allow you to unlock new levels of the map that allow you to unlock new abilities. It's super organic, and I really love the way that flows. The atmosphere is great. The music is great. The art's fantastic. Love everything about Super Metroid. Wonderful game. Number 5 is NHL 95. So the only thing I didn't like about this game is that Steve Larmer always wins the Selkie Award. to the point that if anyone has video proof of him not winning it, I would very much love to see that. Fantastic game. I've played it recently, and it feels a lot more arcadey than I remember it. Like there's no strategy involved, except for maybe when you do your line changes. But it's still a ton of fun to play. And again, I love the fact that EA was allowing you to play a full season, and I believe you could like create players for this as well, which is great. Number 4. So number 4 is Jungle Strike. So take everything that I love about Desert Strike and give it a bunch of new vehicles to play in and a bunch of new areas, so you're not just stuck in the desert. And you've got Jungle Strike, so there's no wonder that it's this high on the list for me. I also remember, I think it's level 5 or 6, there's a night mission, which scared the shit out of me as a kid. I think mainly because I just couldn't see those enemy helicopters when they were coming, and they always seemed to jump out. Still, love the game, ton of fun to play, and I kind of want to play it this weekend, so we'll probably do that. Number 3, Tales of Phantasia. Full disclosure, I did not play this growing up. The first time I played this was in a buddy's dorm room on his like SNESX emulator, I think. Still, this is one of the best RPGs of all time. Sure, there's random encounters, which I hate, but the fighting system at least isn't turn-based. Well, your party is turn-based, but you get to use these like really simplified fighting attacks, really simplified button. What the fuck is the thing I'm looking for? You get to use these fairly simplified controls for your attacks, and you've got combos that you can learn, which it then makes it. You've got combos that you can learn, and it makes it rewarding because you don't just learn it and then select it from a menu. It makes it super rewarding because you don't just learn an attack and then select it from a menu. You actually have to remember how to use it. And like I said, it's simplified, but still a ton of fun. So amazing game. The story's great. The art's fantastic. And yeah, wonderful RPG all around. Number 2 is Sonic and Knuckles. So I love Sonic 2. Sonic and Knuckles allowed you to traverse the map in a brand new way by allowing you to glide and climb up walls. I'm not sure if I ever beat this game. I remember the second level on the airship just killing me. But I loved it. I love this game so much. I actually played it recently with my kids. They love it as well. In between Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic Mania, you have a bunch of shit games, and then like, meh, Sonic Generations wasn't bad, but Sonic Mania brought me back to all of the Sonic games that I loved growing up, and Sonic and Knuckles was the best example of those games and everything that's good about the franchise. So, number 1 is Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Now, I didn't have a Super Nintendo growing up, and I never owned this game. But I had a friend who had this game, and I would go over to his house just to watch him play it. That's how much I love this game. And when I got to play it myself, I fell in love with it even more. Again, music is great. The way that the plot unfolds is fantastic. I think that for me, having played the first 2 Zelda games and not really liking Zelda 2 that much, this is the game that brought me back into the Zelda series and is the reason why I love Zelda to this day. So there you have it. There's my top 10. What are yours? Feel free to comment down below. As well, please check out our store, www.retrogaminggoodness.ca. We have a ton of retro gaming goodies like this Sonic hat, so be sure to check that out. You can follow on Instagram at retrogaminggoodness. That's everything I have for you this week. Until next time, happy gaming. Until next time, happy gaming. Until next time, happy gaming. That's everything I have for this week. Until next time, stay classy, San Diego. Nope, not that one, eh?